Gatesy from Falls from Iron, and please don't forget to drop a like on the stream, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and make sure you hit that bell icon to be notified of any new content as and when we upload it to the channel. Matchday vlog for the Tottenham game at London Stadium this afternoon. We've just arrived at Dartford train station, and a little bit of a problem we've run into straight away. Despite the fact that the TfL's own website says that there's no problem with the trains, we've turned up and there's work on the track, and we've got to get a rail replacement bus to Woolwich Arsenal's DLR station. Fantastic, great start to the day. It can only get better, can't it? Anyway, don't forget, drop a like on the stream, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell icon, and sit back and enjoy the stream. Come on, you Irons. So the teams have been announced: Fabianski, Cresswell, Ogbonna, Zuma. Johnson retains his place at right back, Rice the captain, Souček, Ben Rama, Fornals, Bowen and Antonio up top. Spurs, exactly as I said in the pre-match: Lloris, Reguilon, Romero, Dyer, I've forgotten the right back, Emerson Royale, that's the one. Yeah, brain fart, happens when you get old. Højbjerg, Skip, Son, Mora and Ndombele and Kane up top. I'm going for a 2-1 West Ham win, fingers crossed, because otherwise when I get home, if they manage to turn us over, my day's got to be a very long day with the missus being a Spurs fan. But you know, keep me fingers crossed. 2-1 West Ham. Come on, you Irons. Right, Lee.
Yeah, stand now. You can probably see that. On him. On him.
Well done, Fabianski!
Get on him. Get on him.
The fourth official has indicated there will be a minimum of 1 additional minute.
Get there. Get there. Get there. Well, we're not passing it. We're just kicking it. That's it. He ain't getting that. He ain't getting that.
Come on, quicker! Come on, press him. Put him under pressure. No, we'll just let him travel with the ball. That's fine. If you hate Tottenham, stand up. If you hate Tottenham, stand up. If you hate Tottenham, stand up. Come on, movement. Not a short one, not a short one. Good. Come on, Cressy, deliver. Yes! Yes! Come on! Come on! Minute, we go 1-0 up. Corner from Cresswell. Powerful header. You can hear who's got it. Michael Antonio breaks the deadlock. 18 minutes plus stoppage time left. Come on, you Irons! If Tottenham, stand up. If you hate Tottenham, stand up.
Substitution for West Ham United. Number 20, Jericho. Taking replacement number 15. Great Dawson. And substituting for Tottenham Hotspur in number 27, Lucas Moore. Replaced by number 23, Steve Bennett. The fourth official has indicated there will be a minimum of 3 additional minutes.
That'll do. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. Win it back, win it back. Just got to keep the ball for 3 minutes.
Man of the match for West Ham United, sponsored by Betway, is number 4, Kurt Zuma.
Yeah, decent, decent. Personally, I think I'd have given it to Declan Rice again, which I know is very boring. I just think he's been absolutely superb today. A complete midfielder's performance. Of the 3 that's up. So we're in the last minute now. Win it! Win it! Bubbles in the air, bye. They fly so high, nearly reach the sky. Then, like my dreams, they fade and die. Fortune's always hiding. I've looked everywhere. I'm forever blowing bubbles. Pretty bubbles in the air. United! United! Come on, you Irons! So the game's just finished. West Ham 1, Spurs 0. I'm here with regular channel contributor Steve 50. How are you, sir?
I'm getting much better, Gatesy. Had a really nasty virus, but I'm on my feet again, I'm pleased to say.
So obviously, I think it's fairly safe to say that you're happy with the result. But
yeah.
what was your thoughts on the performance as a whole?
I thought we deserved it. I just thought we were the better side all the way through. Yes, Spurs had their moments when we dropped off, but even at 1-0 up, when we were defending against Spurs, I never thought they were going to score a goal. I actually thought We were the better team. We were better organised. We kept them quiet, and Antonio's 1-0 win, goal, giving us a 1-0 win, was the right result. I would have taken 0-0. You know, I could have lived with that. You could have argued it, but Spurs didn't deserve that today. But the most satisfying bit for me is I've taken a picture of the Spurs players walking off the pitch, so I can send it to my brother-in-law as a Spurs fan and said, a defeated Spurs side leaving the pitch. I mean, I'm going to really enjoy that. But no, great game. Very, very close between the teams, a bit like it was against Everton. But again, I think we deserved a 1-0 win at Everton. I think we deserved the win today. So very happy.
The man of the match award in the stadium was given to Kurt Zouma. Myself, I don't think that Kurt Zouma had a bad game, far from it. But in my opinion, I think that the best player on the pitch, and it's getting a bit boring saying it to be honest, but I think it was Declan Rice.
Oh, he was brilliant. You've genuinely got a player there who is, well, yeah, I'm going to go for it. I've always said I didn't think he was world class, but I think he is now.
Yeah.
And that's why I think we have to enjoy this season with him, because I think he'll go, because he's just brilliant. I can see why Zouma got it, because you can't keep giving it to the same player all the time, and I thought Zouma was very good today and made a big difference at the back. But no, Rice was brilliant today. But the one thing I did think we needed, we created a lot of half chances, and our strikers, or who we've got playing up front, need full chances, if you like, to convert.
Yeah.
And we just need a player like Lingard who could just nip in with that half chance and put one in the back of the net. I think that will help move us forward as well after the January transfer window, if Moyes can do something with that.
And in terms of, there's two players that I'm going to pick out from the back line, because that's 3 consecutive clean sheets. Lucas Fabianski, your thoughts on his performance firstly, and secondly Ben Johnson as well, because I think it's fair to say that there's a lot of people that would probably argue that Vladimir Tufal should come straight back in, but he's been involved in 3 consecutive clean sheets.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tricky one. Fabianski, I thought, was very good today. He commanded his box, he caught the balls, no fumbles, looked assured. Distribution was better, but it still wasn't great. I mean, that's just Fab. But I thought he was good, and I don't see how you can drop him. Clean sheet against Everton, clean sheet against Spurs. Keep him in the side. Ben Johnson, brilliant performance, but he's still a young right back. And he, as good as he's been, he's not as composed as Tufal. And I think you bring Tufal back in because Johnson's still learning his trade. Tufal's the finished article, and there were a couple of times in that game where Johnson got a little bit flustered and Tufal would have had a much calmer head and there would have been less problems. So I think Johnson will end up being our permanent right back at some point, but not just yet, because we have a better right back at the moment. But all credit to him, had a great game.
And we've obviously got the game on Wednesday against Manchester City in the Carabao Cup. How do you see that? I mean, do you think David Moyes is going to play a full strength team, or a sort of like, do you think he's going to rest players? How do you see things ahead of that match?
I think it'll be part and part.
A bit like the European match.
Yeah, very much like the European match. I'm not sure he can play Deck again, because Deck is playing so much football.
Yeah.
Okay, the whole team sings and dances around Deck, but you've got to give him a rest at some point. And same with Souček. So, who'd you put in? Well, I don't know if Kral's recovered from COVID yet, but if he has, do you go with Kral and Noble or Kral and Lanzini? But I'm not expecting us to win on Wednesday against City, because City's B team is still a damn good team.
Yeah.
Our B team is a good team, but it's not as good as City's B team.
Fair.
But having said that, we're now 4th in the league and we're top in our European group, so we may well beat City.
Confidence is high, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
you know, they say that winning is habit forming, and we are definitely forming that habit. As you say, we're 4th in the league, we're top of our group, you know, undefeated in that, not conceded a goal, and we've beaten a team here that for the last sort of like 5, 6, 7 years have been, whether you like it or not, up until recently a top 6 team, and we've beaten them today and been quite convincing in doing that. I know it's a narrow scoreline, but I don't think that the victory in our side was undeserved. So I agree. I think that we're heading in the right direction under David Moyes.
It's been an astonishing turnaround, and I was saying to my daughter who came today, that I've got to get out of this negative mindset of when we go into a game. And I've had that for years, because we might squeak a result. I've now got to start changing my mindset into, no, we're going to this game with a good chance. Yeah. And that is just so different, and it's really refreshing. Thoroughly enjoyed the game today, absolutely delighted with the result, and I don't think they could have done any better. They played on Thursday, won 3-0, quick turnaround, play Spurs, 1-0 win. Nothing to complain about here at all. And
bear in mind that all of their starting 11, I believe you'll find that none of them actually even travelled, I don't think.
No, I don't think
certainly
they didn't
start, whereas we had 5 players on the pitch today that started the game in the Europa League. So
yeah, it's terrific. This is the best time as a West Ham fan in 50 years I've had, because it's not a flash in the pan, it's consistent.
Yeah.
And I'm now looking at games and thinking, I'm expecting us to get a result here.
Yeah.
And I've never had that before, and this is just marvellous as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
And I'm enjoying every second of it.
Me as well, because as you know, my wife's a Spurs fan, so I will enjoy it when I get home.
Oh, good grief. Good luck. If I read about murder in Dartford tomorrow, I'll know what's happened, mate.
Steve, I appreciate your time as always,
Cheers,
my friend.
Take care, mate.
So the final score ended West Ham 1, Tottenham 0. Always a fantastic result, no matter what the performance, but we had a performance today, it's fair to say. I thought we were dogged, determined, and we made quite a few opportunities. I looked at the possession stats, and it was a roughly 60-40 possession game in favour of Tottenham, but we managed to carve out the greater amount of opportunities despite that fact. And that's the thing with West Ham under David Moyes, is that we're clinical and efficient in terms of making this possession that we've got count. This possession, possession is 9/10 of the law. It's a complete fallacy as far as football is concerned. Possession without penetration, it's absolutely pointless. And we have the possession, and we penetrate, and we make the most of our opportunities. And I'm a West Ham fan. I mean, I've been supporting West Ham basically since I knew what football was all about. My first game was in 1983 at Upton Park, and it's been a roller coaster ride, it's fair to say. There've been an awful lot of downs as well as a few ups here and there. And I'm used to West Ham, by and large, struggling. But for the last... This is not a fluke. What we're seeing, we're fourth in the league, 9 games gone. And I know you could turn around and say it's only 9 games, but you think about it, it's like there's 38 games in a Premier League season. So that's roughly a quarter of a season that's gone already. And we're fourth. Not only that, you throw into the equation that we're in Europe, we're top of a European group, we've played 3-1-3 and we've not conceded a goal. We've also gone to Old Trafford in the League Cup and turned them over. Now, this is not a fluke. This seriously isn't a fluke. This is by design, this is by hard work, this is by endeavour, by David Moyes, his coaching staff. The players are all pulling together, and what you're seeing on the pitch is the final result of all of that work that's gone in since David Moyes walked in. I mean, I do often ask myself the question, what if David Moyes had been kept on instead of him being shown the door? Thank you very much for saving us from relegation, but we're going to get in this guy that's this guy that's won the Premier League, he's managed Real Madrid, and we're going to give him a shed load of money to basically piss down the drain on, in the main, substandard players. I do wonder, but we are where we are, we're not where we want to be, but we're, I'm used to disappointment as a West Ham fan. I'm used to seeing West Ham snatching defeat from the jaws of victory time and again. I'm used to seeing us. I remember, this is the sort of thing that can happen, it can only happen to a West Ham fan. We beat Aston Villa in a League Cup quarter-final match at Upton Park on a penalty shootout. And what happens, we have to replay the game because we've played an ineligible player, and we then go and lose the game. That is West Ham. That is the sort of stuff that is happens to West Ham down the years. But I'm now coming exactly what Steve said. I'm having to kind of recalibrate, and instead of sort of like it's bound to go wrong at some point, I'm now having to sort of convince myself that, do you know what, it's not going to go, it's not fun, it's not going to go wrong badly and for long enough. I mean, we don't tend to go on, under Moyes' tenure in this second spell, we don't go on losing runs of 3-4 games, which is something that I've seen many times in my time as a West Ham fan. It just isn't happening. And I've already turned around and said it, and I'm not saying it's going to happen, so anyone that sort of like wants to come back at me and sort of like use this as a stick to beat me with, understand what I'm saying. It wouldn't shock me if at the end of this season we were in the Champions League. It wouldn't shock me. I'm not saying we're going to. I'm not saying we're gonna win the Premier League. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is it wouldn't shock me. We were a team that last season finished, 2-3 points away from actually achieving that particular accolade. And we could also do it by winning the Europa League. Now, is there a reason why we couldn't win the Europa League? On the basis of our first 3 games in the tournament and what I've seen from other teams that are in that tournament? No. Now, I appreciate that there are teams that come down from the Champions League that could put a crimp in that plan. But at the minute, if we got to the end of the season and we some way, somehow, by hook or by crook, find ourselves that the following season we are a Champions League club, would it shock me? No. Right now, no, it wouldn't. And I know there are going to be some people that are going to listen to this and are going to say he's correct. He's lost the plot. That's your opinion if that's the case. And this is my opinion. I'm not saying we are going to be in the Champions League. Let me repeat that. I'm not saying we're going to be in the Champions League. But if we achieved it either by finishing in the top 4 or by winning the Europa League, and as by virtue of either of those facts we finished as a Champions League club going into next season, it wouldn't shock me. Because what I'm seeing is I'm seeing a team that is greater than the sum of its parts. Seriously, it is. And everybody's pulling in the same direction. From the starting 11 to the substitutes that are on the bench, the coaching team, the manager. We've now got a unit that has been galvanised, that has been sort of like made to believe by the guy at the top, David Moyes, that what the mind can conceive, you can achieve. It's the old saying, Henry Ford, if you believe you can, if you believe you can't, either way you are right. And I think that is David Moyes' mantra to his players, to his coaching staff. If you think you can do it, that's half the battle. And I seriously do think that he's managed to convey that particular that particular mindset, that if you guys believe that you can go out there and win an individual match, and if you guys go out there and you believe that you can qualify for Champions League, Europa League, if you believe that you could get to a cup final, do you know what? That's half the battle. David Moyes has managed to really get his players believing that you can do it. And any player that doesn't buy into it, the likes of the Felipe Andersons, the like of your Sebastian Hellers, okay, you're gone. I'll get someone in that does believe it. And maybe it's a player that as far as their skill set is concerned and what they actually have in their locker, might actually be inferior to the player that we're getting rid of. But their mindset is one that's superior. That's a really powerful thing. That's a really, really powerful thing. And as a West Ham fan, I'm just glad that I'm able to watch it. The last time I remember having back-to-back seasons like this was under Harry Redknapp in sort of like between about 97 and 99, 2000, something like that. We had consecutive seasons where we managed to finish in good positions in the Premier League. And I see that this is kind of the direction that we're going under David Moyes. That he's managed to sort of like get a cohesive unit. The whole club, like I say, is pulling in the right direction, and it's something that, like I say, outside of that 3 or so year spell under Harry Redknapp, you know, I've not really seen. You know, we'll have a good season, but then we'll follow it up by finishing, you know, sort of like fighting against relegation. 2006, we got we had our first season in the Premier League after promotion from the Championship. I think we finished 9th or something like that. We got to an FA Cup final. Following season, we escaped relegation by the skin of our teeth on the last day of the season. 1986, I can just about remember that. I was about 10, 11 years of age. We finished 3rd. Could have won the League Championship. It wasn't the Premier League then. Could have won the league title. Following season, nowhere near. And a couple of seasons later, we did get relegated. So I'm used to seeing a West Ham team have a successful season followed by a not so successful season, and the next time we have a comparatively successful season, it might be a couple of seasons down the track. We've had the last season and a half, season and sort of like, yeah, season and a half, season 3/4 maybe, of, you know, of achievement. We've got to start believing. We as fans need to change our mindset. I need to change my mindset. I need to because I've been used to that sort of like sequence of achievement and disappointment, whatever. You know, I'm sitting here and I keep saying to myself, it's going to go wrong at some point. I need to change that. I need to start sort of like believing more. That's a criticism of myself and of a great many West Ham fans, because we all sort of like sit there and go, it's bound to go wrong at some point. But it, you know, so far so good. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. The result today, fantastic. You know, my wife's a Spurs fan, and it's quite nice that me and my kids, who are all West Ham fans as well, have all strolled through the door. She's got a face like a slapped ass, and we're sort of like got a spring in our step. It's really nice. But beyond that, it's what's even nicer is not just the fact that we've beaten Tottenham, is the fact that, you know, we could potentially be on the verge of doing something really, really special. And I'm so glad that I'm here to watch it. Come on, you Irons.